At the age of 30, I had a happy family, a smooth career, and a satisfactory life. However, on my birthday, my wife, who was drunk, pushed me into the car and then started driving us into the sea. Why don't you just die? I'm really fed up with you. My soul witnessed her moving into my house with her younger brother, enjoying the money I had earned, and even making my son call him dad. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the time when I confessed my love to her in college. Say yes, say yes. The jeers of the people around me made me open my eyes. Only then did I realize that I was on one knee, holding a bouquet of flowers, that there were bright red roses, colorful lights, and balloons all over the ground, with Diana standing opposite me, her face full of embarrassment and impatience. I remembered this was the scene when I confessed my love to Diana in my sophomore year. I had been reincarnated. Diana would never be with you, don't you understand that? Your grand confession like this would make her so embarrassed. Diana's good friend, Juliet, was pointing fingers at me, accusing me of confessing my love to her on my own initiative. The protagonist hasn't even said a word, yet is it your turn to talk here? What does Diana have? No mouth. My good friend Alexander stood up for me. After all, he knew best how I had been chasing Diana these days. Whatever she glanced at, whether it was bags, accessories, cakes, or flowers, I would immediately buy them and send them to her. I thought that by accepting those things for me, she was showing some affection for me, but I never expected that when I was confidently confessing my love, she would reject me harshly. William, I'm not one of those gold-digging women you've met. I don't love your money. No matter how much money you spend on me, I won't even look at you twice. Take these things you've prepared and donate them to the mountainous areas. Who knows how many children you could benefit? Besides, I already have someone I like. We may not have money, but we have love. It was her seemingly lofty and kind-hearted appearance that moved me. So, I launched my love offensive. Later I found out that it was all an act. Since she hadn't experienced the joy of spending money, she could naturally say that money meant nothing. After getting married, it was she who spent money like water when she went to the beauty salon for maintenance every day, or bought a high-priced bag. I never heard her say it was a waste or that she wanted to benefit the poor again. I remembered her tone towards me was actually a bit better now, because she should have just started to experience the benefits of having money. When her mother and younger brother were driven out of their home with nowhere to live, I immediately rented a 5-star hotel for them right at the school gate, the kind with an unlimited renewal option, which was also convenient for Diana to go out and meet her family. If you have someone you like, why do you still accept the things William sends you? And you don't even refuse, Alexander said indignantly beside me. Who would have thought that the other side would be so unapologetic? William likes Diana. Isn't it normal for him to send some things? What does accepting the things you send mean? I have to be with you. That's called ... Besides, it wasn't our Diana who forced him. It was all William's own will. Okay, who chases a girl and takes care of not only her but also her family and friends. Don't you have any shame? If you had told us earlier that you had someone you liked, we wouldn't have been so persistent. You're being ungrateful after getting the benefits. Alexander couldn't stand the haughty look of the other side and launched his verbal attack skills. At that moment, Diana snatched the flowers I was holding in my hand and threw them at me. The thorns of the roses scratched my face, but she turned pale and shouted as if she had suffered a great injustice. Okay, stop talking. I'll give you back everything you gave me. We'll be even. Okay. Everyone was silent, looking at the scratches on my face and neck. They didn't dare to move. I laughed, wiped them casually, and slowly stood up and walked towards Diana. It was this woman. I really thought she had some genuine feelings for me before, but I never expected that everything was just my illusion. From the beginning to the end, she was with me only for another man. I must look a bit scary now. Under my ferocious face was a sarcastic smile. Diana, give them back to me. What? Looking at Diana's shocked face, I kindly repeated it again. Give me back the money. Didn't you say that yourself? What was it? Is it just something you made up to prove your lofty image? These words pierced through Diana's thoughts. There were many onlookers present, so she had to say angrily, Fine, I'll give it back to you. You'd better not come begging to me. We'll have nothing to do with each other for the rest of our lives. Couldn't ask for more. I stared at her and said word by word, with my head down, her face turned pale inch by inch, not hearing what she wanted to hear from me, probably feeling humiliated. She then turned around, pulled Juliet, and ran away. Okay, everyone who's here to watch the fun disperse. Yo bro, why are you so tough today? Alexander dispersed the crowd and then came over, putting his arm around my shoulder to tease me. Seeing that my expression wasn't right, he thought I was too sad about being rejected. Come on man, I'll buy you a drink. I drank a lot that night. Alexander, be honest. What do you think of me? Why doesn't she like me? I had chased Diana for 2 years, been with her for 7 years, and been married to her for 6 years. Even if you raise a dog for so many years, it should be attached to you, right? Why did she have no feelings for me at all? I was plunged into a deep whirlpool. You have money, good looks, and talent, 3 words to describe you. Tall, rich, and handsome. There's only one flaw, and that's your bad taste in women. I tell you that Diana may have some looks, but she's too pretentious. She doesn't deserve you. I'll tell you, you've lived too smoothly since you were a kid, and you've seen too few women. She was obviously faking it, but you just couldn't see it. You still thought she was pure and aloof, different from others. Alexander was drunk and kept babbling beside me, with a rather earnest tone. We had grown up together since childhood, and he knew me best. I laughed and said, yeah, I really had bad taste. I got dead drunk that night, determined not to look for reasons within myself anymore. The next day, after I sobered up, I immediately canceled the hotel reservation for Diana's family and the cards I had opened in various stores under her name. I also took the trouble to call and cancel them one by one. Not long after that, I received a call from Diana. She usually never took the initiative to contact me. She probably found my number from the missed calls list. I didn't answer it and instead blocked her number right away. Unexpectedly, she still chased after me regardless, and showed up at the classroom where I was having classes. As soon as the class was over, she was waiting at the classroom door. This time, she didn't seem to feel embarrassed at all. Ignoring the people coming and going, she started shouting at me, William, why did you cancel my mom's hotel reservation? There's no rule that says I have to provide accommodation for someone who owes me money. Many people coming and going stopped in their tracks and started gossiping. Hearing what I said, they all started pointing fingers at Diana. Her delicate little face gradually couldn't hold up anymore. Aren't you just trying to force me to be with you in this way? I've seen too many tricks of rich people. I'll never give in. Just wait and see. Diana indeed didn't give in, but her mother and best friend all came to find me first. They cursed at me, scolding me for being heartless. How could you be so impatient when chasing our Diana? I don't think you really like her at all. I should have asked her to delete you from the very beginning. You're really a heartless thing. Do you really not care about your future mother-in-law? I don't think anyone would marry their daughter to someone like you. Everyone, come and have, look, this man is relying on his wealth to recklessly trample on others' trust. Well, if you renew the reservation of that 5-star hotel for me right now, and also get me a car and a driver, because it's not very convenient for me to travel, and I don't have any shopping carts either. You have several, right? Give me one with a high monthly limit. If you do all these things, I'll go and do some ideological work for Diana's mother. I remember her after getting married. She would order me around as she pleased. To please Diana, I bought another house for her mother and treated her with great respect. All the money she spent on going out to play cards and keeping young lovers was on me. And she would come to our house from time to time to say that I wasn't treating Diana well, about how others treated their wives outside, and even suggesting that Diana, Remar. Thinking of this, I got really angry and rolled my eyes, then simply avoided seeing them. Later, when they saw this trick didn't work, they started sending me pictures of Diana, saying how miserable she had been recently. Diana went to work in a supermarket to pay you back, and was being made to face difficulties. She still had to rush to write reports when she came back at night. She was still writing downstairs at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is what Diana has been eating recently. It's all vegetables without any meat or nutrition. She was already thin, and now she's even thinner. Diana is sick, lying in bed with a fever. Look at her pitiful state. Now it's all because of you. This time I called back. There were scattered discussions on the other end. At first, I told you this trick would work. See, the call is here. He stoots well. If you run around the playground naked and shout that you like Diana when there are a lot of people, we'll forgive you. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. You've got it wrong. I'm calling to say that if she's working in the supermarket to pay off the debt, when will I be able to get my money back? I have a job introduction for her as a bar waiter. The salary is much higher, and she should be able to pay it off faster. A high salary bar waiter. Everyone knows what that means. Diana snatched the phone, and her voice sounded as if she had been greatly wronged. William, don't think you can insult people just because you have a little stinking money. Actually, all of this was within my expectation, but what I didn't expect was that Henry also came to find me. In my previous life, he was always hiding behind Diana like a coward. He deliberately chose a time when there were a lot of people and roared at me. How could you do this to Diana? I know you've never liked me, but there's really nothing between me and Diana. I'm her brother. Are you crazy to be jealous of her? Brother, it's just that you don't want to spend money anymore, so you've pinned an unfounded accusation on Diana. I've seen too many men like you. You want everything but are so stingy you don't even want to spend a little money when chasing a girl. He didn't notice my disdainful look and thought everything was because of himself. Well, William, if you find me a good job, I'll leave this home, go to live in another city, disappear in front of my sister, and admit you as my brother-in-law. Isn't that what you want? The people around who didn't know the situation also started to stand up for him when they heard him say that. I was wondering why William suddenly stopped chasing Diana. How could he even be jealous of her brother? For the sake of his sister's happiness, he has to leave his hometown, alone, give up his studies, and go to live in another place alone. I have to say, William's behavior is really a bit too unkind. What a so-called brother. I lowered my head and rolled my eyes. How can you prove that you are blood-related siblings? Have you done a mitochondrial test to prove that you come from the same maternal line? Not only Henry, but everyone present was stunned. Are they really siblings? They don't even have the same last name. Moreover, they are a bit too close on a daily basis. I saw Diana feeding him last time. Even if they are siblings, they should know to avoid suspicion at their age. Yeah, look at him calling Diana one after another. It doesn't seem like siblings, but more like a young couple. Henry didn't expect the topic to change so quickly among everyone and hurriedly clarified. Can't one of us take our father's last name and the other take our mother's? My sister has doted on me since childhood. You people are really a bunch of black-hearted people. Hearing this, I took out the photos I had taken 2 days ago. Is this how real siblings hug each other? The moment Henry saw the photo, he was a bit flustered but quickly composed himself. That's because you drove my mom and me out. She burst into tears when she saw us alone on the street with nowhere to go. I just gave her a hug to comfort her. I rolled my eyes, picked out the dirt I heard in my ears, and swiped to the next photo. How do you explain this one then? I even deliberately rotated my phone 365 so that everyone could see clearly what was on it. Henry was kissing Diana. Henry's face instantly turned red, but he still stubbornly refused to admit it. My sister was crying so hard that I had no choice but to give her a quick kiss. You actually had someone secretly take pictures and follow me. You're in trouble. If my sister finds out, she'll never forgive you. You people don't understand the relationship between my sister and me at all. When we were young, we slept in the same bed and ate from the same bowl. Since we were little, we've been each other's only support. What do you know? If I hadn't seen them lying on my bed with my own eyes in my previous life, I would never have believed that this man whom my mother-in-law called son and Diana called brother had no blood relationship with them at all. After the first died, I was in a spirit form for a while. I saw Diana bring Henry to my house. Henry was lying on my bed, hugging my wife, Diana. We can finally be together openly. You've endured so much humiliation and hardship over the years. Thank you, Diana. With tears in her eyes, she shook her head and threw herself into his arms. You've been living alone in another place without any relatives or friends. You're the one who's had it tough. But fortunately, everything is over now. House and the money are all ours now. It was only then that I realized that I had been nothing but a stepping stone for them to cross social classes. From the very beginning, this whole thing was their plan all along, and I was just a tool being used. Were they having a hard time? I found Henry a job with little work, lots of free time, and good pay. I even rented a house for him next to the company. Even when he often brought girls home and was short of money, I subsidized him. As for Diana, when she was spending money like water, accepting the surprises I prepared for her and enjoying herself beneath me, she seemed to be having a great time. I didn't see her feeling any hardship. A bunch of scoundrels waving the so-called flag of love are actually nothing good. Well, in this life, you two better stay tightly bound together. I'm no longer an obstacle to your love. I'm curious to see what kind of life you led. Brother. William. After class, my childhood sweetheart, Evelyn, suddenly came to visit me at our school. She had just returned from studying abroad and wanted to try the food in our school cafeteria, so I took her there. We were chatting happily about what had happened during the years we were apart while eating. Suddenly, Diana showed up in front of us with a pale face, which gave me a start. William, I've thought it over. I agree to be with you. Evelyn was sitting opposite me, winking at me with an excited, gossipy look. Unexpectedly, the next moment, Diana's words left her shocked, with her mouth wide open. Next time you want to find someone to make me jealous, please find someone better looking. With all those tacky designer brands and the stench of money grubbing, that can be smelled from a distance. I won't be jealous of such a person, but I don't want to argue about it either. As long as you take good care of my family, I'll agree to be with you. She looked as if she was making a huge sacrifice by being with me. Evelyn's face had already obviously darkened. Before I could say anything, she dumped her food tray directly on Diana's head. The soup and rice dripped down Diana's face, making her look extremely embarrassed. Long time no see. Your taste has really gone downhill. I remember you used to date at least school beauty level girls. Are you tired of Babylonian delicacies and want to try some rotten sprouts? I tried hard to restrain the corners of my mouth from curving up, seeing the tense situation between them and fearing that Diana would get the worst of it if they fought. I quickly pulled Evelyn and walked out. She teased me. Why can't you bear to let me hit your little sweetheart? I shook my head. I'm afraid you'll go too far, and it'll be a lot of trouble later. You've just come back. There's no need to get upset over this, and I have plenty of ways to deal with her. You don't need to bother. I walked forward with big strides, completely unaware of the whispers in the cafeteria behind me. Oh my God, I knew William still liked Diana. Look, when his friend was about to bully her. He couldn't bear it and quickly pulled his friend away. Maybe rich second-generation kids are all stubborn. I just heard that girl call him brother. Maybe they're cousins and were called here to provoke Diana. It's rather rare for a grown man to play hard to get. Haha, and Diana's knowing and determined look as she heard these words. Alexander, Evelyn, and I grew up together. We had made an appointment to have a dinner party in a private room in the evening. To my surprise, I saw Diana here. She came in with a tray of wine, put it down, and left without even sparing me a glance. I don't know if Diana was trying to provoke me or wanted to pay me back the money as soon as possible. She actually came to work in this bar. Don't tell me you still haven't given up. Could it really be like what they said, that you're playing hard to get? Alexander looked at me worriedly as I kept staring at Diana, but I just laughed. I booked the top-notch private room. She's just a new intern and doesn't have the right to serve us wine. I just want to see what tricks she's going to play in front of me. After a few rounds of drinking, I went out to the toilet and heard Diana's voice coming from the unisex toilet next door. Seeing the sign under renovation, "Do not enter" placed at the entrance, I tiptoed and pressed my ear against the door. Sure enough, it was Diana. A man was buried in her chest, and she tilted her head back, biting her lip. Even so, low moans still escaped from her mouth several times, not showing the slightest bit of the lofty appearance she had in front of me. Diana, when William comes out later, pretend to be drunk and fall on him. Say that a customer drugged you, he'll surely feel sorry for you and carry you away, but you'll have to endure a bit tonight. The next day, you must pretend to be extremely aggrieved. These rich guys like your type who play hard to get. They've seen too many who throw themselves at them. Only someone as challenging as you can capture his heart. He'll never suspect that all of this was arranged by us. Even your first encounter was part of our plan. Ha, life is so easy to manipulate. The man looked up. It was Henry. Those scoundrels were occupying the public area, so I immediately reported them. After a while, I heard the staff from next door, driving them away, and the sounds of their frantic apologies and panicked escapes. When there was no more noise outside, I slowly made my way back to the private room. After having our fill of food and drink, we were ready to go home. Sure enough, when we came out, we saw Diana lying weakly on the roadside. I went up to help her, and as soon as I touched her, she immediately clung to me. "William, I was drugged. Save me. Save me." I carefully picked her up and put her in the passenger seat. Evelyn and Alexander beside me looked at me worriedly. "Haven't you given up yet?" I shook my head. "She said too much to drink. You guys go ahead. I'll take her back to school." After saying that, I drove away, but not long after, I was forced to stop, because she kept wriggling around and even unbuckled her seatbelt and climbed towards me, sitting on my lap and kissing me randomly. "Henry, I love you. Henry." I touched her forehead. She was burning up badly. She really had been drugged. She was really willing to go to such lengths to set me up. Seeing her in discomfort and clinging to me all the time, I remembered that in the second year of my marriage, I was also drugged when I went to a drinking party. To avoid any trouble, I had to cut my hand with a steak knife to barely stay sober. I managed to get home and open the door. Only after hugging her tightly did I let my desires run wild. Unexpectedly, she threw me into the bathroom in disgust and turned on the cold water. "If you're horny, deal with it yourself. Who knows what bad things you've picked up outside all day." This also directly led to my getting pneumonia later. Looking at Diana slumped on me, I smiled. "I'm not as kind-hearted as you." Diana was really out of it. She was shouting Henry's name but kept getting closer to me. I thought for a moment. There seemed to be a small-time thug at the school gate who often changed girlfriends and was often called Brother SH by others. I carried Diana out of the car. "Brother SH, is this your woman? I saw her at the bar entrance. She seems to have been drugged and has been calling your name non-stop." The man called Brother SH was about to refuse, but when he saw Diana's appearance, his expression immediately changed to a loud smile. "Ah yes, this is my girl." After kindly booking a room for them, I went home and had a good sleep. The next morning, I was woken up by Alexander's continuous phone calls. I answered it groggy. "William, did you take her back yesterday? You're really stubborn. It's already on the confession wall today. It says that William slept with someone and then left her high and dry, asking her to return all the gifts from the pursuit period." I yawned. "Yeah, I got it." After hanging up, I went online to check. Sure enough, everyone was scolding me. The top voted comment was, "Let's be straight, it's William from the School of Computer Science. When chasing a girl, he said all kinds of nice things and even promised to take good care of the girl's family. But after sleeping with her, he said he didn't want to be together anymore, citing the reason that he didn't like the girl being too close to her brother." Below were all comments scolding me as a scumbag. There were also some insiders who spilled the beans, claiming that I was chasing many girls at the same time, often going out to hotels with different girls, playing with girls' feelings, and so on. Instantly, I became the target of public criticism and was pushed to the forefront of the storm. Don't rush. Let the situation develop a bit first. I went to school, as usual. Sure enough, Diana, Juliet, and Henry were waiting for me at the entrance of my college. When they saw me coming, Henry came up and punched me directly. Bastard. After sleeping with Diana, do you just want to walk away? Juliet also came up and pointed at my nose, scolding me. Scumbag. Everyone come and see, this is William from the School of Computer Science. Relying on his family's wealth, he toys with girls, bodies, and feelings. On the contrary, Diana just stood at the back, alone, biting her lip with a pale face, winning over the onlookers' sympathy. When there were enough onlookers, I directly kicked Henry against the wall. You say I slept with her. Do you have any evidence? Everyone was stunned on the spot. What kind of evidence was needed for this? No one would joke about their own innocence. There was only you, a man around Diana. The surveillance camera at the bar entrance last night could also capture that it was you who picked her up. Aren't you a man too? I asked rhetorically, and then calmly played the video on speaker. It clearly showed Diana muttering Henry's name after being drugged last night. She wasn't shouting my name when she was drunk. Henry, is she calling you? But aren't you siblings? Isn't it a bit too much for her to say? Henry, I love you. Could it be that you too? Diana didn't expect that I would still have the energy to record a video in that situation, nor did she expect that she would call Henry's name when she was unconscious. She carefully exchanged a glance with Henry, and both of their faces were flushed with embarrassment. No, it wasn't me. I slapped my thigh and played the video of Brother Sher putting his arm around Diana and entering the hotel later. Yeah, I don't think it could be you, either, so I sent her to Brother Sher at the entrance. Brother Sher said she was indeed his woman. Everyone knows that I've liked Diana for a long time, but I'm not the kind of person who takes advantage of others' difficulties. And I don't care about a woman who doesn't have me in her heart. Hearing what I said, the looks that the people around gave Diana all became very strange. At the right moment, I added another sentence. When I was chasing you, you didn't say that you and Brother Sher were in love with each other. When I confessed to you, you rejected me and said you would return the things I gave you during the pursuit. I didn't want to humiliate your self-esteem, so I had to accept it. But now, everything you three are wearing was bought by me, and I haven't seen a single penny back. The three of them were immediately dumbfounded on the spot and couldn't come up with a response for a long time. Instead, words like gold digger and improper relationship began to spread around. And Diana again had that look of being aggrieved, but not saying anything. She stood up and shielded her good friend and brother behind her. I'll work to pay you back the money. I mean what I say. I blinked. Why the rush? It wasn't over yet. Oh right. There's been a high level of discussion about me on the confession wall today. I've already found the person who posted it and the highly upvoted comments that framed me by name. They'll receive a lawyer's letter from me because I've suffered great harm both physically and mentally. After saying that, I ignored their colorful expressions and turned around to leave. A few days later, I received a transfer from Diana. The amount was quite large, almost the same as the money I had spent on her. She stood in front of me, still holding her head high, arrogant. William, I'm not unwanted. It's your good fortune that I have feelings for you. My good fortune, using the money I worked hard to earn to support my wife's family, and also having to support the mistress and the mistress's child, and finally being killed by them. Do you want this kind of good fortune? However, I was quite surprised at how she could get such a large sum of money so quickly. Not really. However, just 2 days later, the man's fiancée and mother showed up at the door with people. They grabbed Diana's hair in the bar and poured beer on her. The proud and aloof Diana was slapped in public and looked extremely embarrassed. These clothes and this bag were bought by him for you, right? Take them off. Do you know that we're already engaged? You're breaking up someone else's relationship. Have you no shame? Take all these off. One person rises to power, and the whole family benefits, right? These two people here are also getting benefits from you, right? Brother, have you no shame? I've already investigated this. The brother has no blood relationship with her at all. He's an adopted child of their family. It's bad enough to keep a mistress, but you also have to support the mistress's mistress. Do you think I'm that magnanimous? She thought that what she was waiting for was to take the man's place or at least a check to make her leave. She had watched too many TV dramas. In real life, all she got was a severe beating, and the man who said he loved her at first tried to protect her, but after seeing the photo of her hugging Henry, Higgis stood aside and watched coldly without saying a word. For her, Henry rushed forward to stand in front of Diana. Don't bully Diana. Diana looked at him gratefully, and they hugged each other as if the whole world was their enemy. Suddenly, I remembered that in my previous life, after Diana's mother got into debt, the creditors came to the door to beat people. A big iron rod. It was about to come down, and I didn't hesitate to block it for her. What did she say then? She said, "Stop pretending to be kind. If you were capable of helping me, pay off, ... The debt." We wouldn't have been beaten because of what she said. I had a fight with my father that night. I took a large sum of money to fill the bottomless pit of their family. Maybe she really loved Henry and she really doesn't love me. No matter how much I do, in her eyes, I'm just a tool, and Henry doesn't do anything but is still her hero. After those people left, Henry held Diana's hand intimately. "Why don't you go back to William and get that money back? Among all the people we've met, he's the easiest to deceive." Diana was very obedient to Henry. Soon, she stopped in front of my car. "William, I've thought about it for a long time and finally understood my own heart. The one I've truly loved. In my heart has always been you. Can you give me another chance? I'll give you whatever you want. I won't see anyone you don't want me to see. Is that okay?" I got out of the car and gently helped her up. Sure, there was a sparkle in her eyes. I continued, "But I have one condition. I know that Henry isn't your brother. As long as you never see him again or help him, I can take good care of you and your mother." She began to hesitate. To show my sincerity, I gave her a check. "Here, you are. Come to me if you figure it out." She nodded with tears in her eyes. Having watched this drama with me for so long, Alexander already knew that I wasn't being started. He asked me, "What kind of trick are you playing this time?" I just smiled without answering. "Wait and see." I pretended to leave with Alexander but actually hid in the dark to observe. Diana told Henry what I had said, and he immediately panicked. "How can this be? How can we be separated? We made a vow. Only when the mountains crumble and the heavens and the earth merge will I part from you. Diana, I can't leave you." Diana also hugged him tightly. "Let's run away with this check. I'll drop out of college. We can find a place where no one knows us and live there. Henry, I'm really tired of constantly flattering men. I only like you. Can we just forget about the money and live an ordinary life?" However, upon hearing her words, he suddenly pushed her away. "What did you say?" Seeing that Diana still looked determined, he actually pushed Diana to the ground and snatched the check. "Go live your poor life. Give me the money. I'll go by myself. You're such a useless woman." Diana stared blankly at the boy she had loved for so many years. Back then, when her mother adopted him, she didn't agree at first. It was Diana who liked him, gave him warmth and love. She thought they were in love, but she never expected that in his eyes. She was just a tool to Henry really left. Although it was an adoption, Henry was already quite old at that time, so his household registration was in Diana's hands. He packed his bags overnight, took the check I gave him, and fled to the railway station. Diana, looking lost and dejected, found me and said the same thing as in her previous life. "William, I promise you I'll marry you." But I twirled the pen in my hand and politely refused her. "But I have no intention of marrying you." She looked up at me in surprise. Then that day, "Just because I said you could come to me if you figured it out, doesn't mean I would agree. I was just saying it casually. Who knew you'd take it seriously?" Her face turned ashen, and she murmured, "That's not true. William, you love me so much, you would marry me. You would come home to accompany me no matter how late it was. You would prepare surprises for me on every anniversary. William, you were supposed to marry me." She was reborn, too. No wonder she was always so certain in this life that I would marry her and forgive her. I leaned close to her ear. "Since you still remember these things, what makes you think that I, William, would marry a woman who cheated on me during our marriage and even planned to have me killed so she could inherit my property? Do I look like I'm short of women?" She looked up at me in shock, her big eyes staring at me as if she couldn't believe what she had heard. I continued, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. It was I who told that rich second-generation guy's mother and fiancé about you. I also happened to expose your affair with your brother. How was it? Did you enjoy those slaps? Oh, and there's more. I can call to stop the cashing of the check I gave you. From the moment Henry left the city, that check became invalid. How about that? Consider it revenge for you. Are you happy? Aren't you happy?" "I'm extremely happy." After saying that, regardless of her expression, I walked away with big strides. It seemed that only from this moment did I truly feel relieved. Diana became an interlude in my life. I then realized that life without her could be so carefree. After graduating from college, I went abroad for further studies. I went to the same university as Evelyn to do my postgraduate studies. In my previous life, because Diana's English was not good, we never went on a trip abroad. In this life, I finally took control of my own life and saw a broader world. When I was doing my postgraduate studies abroad, Evelyn and I confessed our feelings to each other. I then learned that she had been secretly in love with me for many years. Fortunately, this time it wasn't too late for me to find out. After returning to China, I didn't take over my family's business right away. Instead, I chose to start my own business. After studying for so long, I still wanted to prove my own abilities. During the initial stage of starting a business, I had to go to some small companies to discuss business. As soon as the boss on the other side saw me, he came up to greet me. William, sorry for not greeting you earlier. Come and have a seat. Of course, there's no problem with the contract you mentioned. We can sign it today. I hope you can give us more support in the future. On my way out, after the discussion, I saw Diana. She was wearing a flamboyant red long dress. There were signs of plastic surgery on her face, and there were bruises from being beaten under the thick foundation. She trotted up and grabbed the boss's arm. I was a bit surprised because, as far as I knew, the other party had a wife and daughter. Seeing the change in my expression, he thought I was interested in Diana. He quickly winked at me, like he was showing off a treasure. If William likes her, she's yours. She's very obedient. No matter how you beat her, she won't run away. She'll also keep herself in shape. All you need to do is give her a little money each month. I glanced at Diana, and she also recognized me. She froze on the spot. I didn't say a word. The boss was a bit confused. Do you know each other? No. You guys have fun, I said. First, if I could choose, I only hoped that I had never known her.